Oh my goodness. We are having malfunctions. Welcome to the studio stream. I'm Raven. This is Khrysalis Studios. You are currently here with me. Today we have the winners of the Flat Out Fabulous contest and all the participants, and I'm going to show you some examples of hair by hair detailing techniques so pencils versus acrylic versus oils, and yeah, we can chat about some of that today. I have some exciting reveals for Sticker Club stuff, not yet for Medallion Club. You guys have to be a little more patient. We're not at the end of the month yet, but we are very close. Everything starts to ship this week, and we will have more reveals soon. So let's get into the Briar stuff first. All right, so we don't have a ton for Briar breaking news. There's the new Vintage Club horse. Let me just pull that up. Which is the semi-rearing Mustang Stallion Eldorado is what they're calling him. Here he is here. So he comes in Gambler's Choice between this Copenhagen blue, kind of really neat twist on the pattern. It looks like they're using some sort of stencil or something for the spots themselves because they're the same on the gold as they are on the not gold. Let me make that a little better for you guys. Maybe if I do it. No, that may make it worse. Oh, that's full screen. Okay. So yeah, and then a gold filigree version as well. You can see how the spots are basically the exact same on both. I don't know if there's a particular reason for the spots being in that pattern. Maybe it's a constellation or something. If you guys know better, let me know. I'm gonna change. Make that a little bit of a different color. All right, so yeah, they're super cool. The splattering will obviously be done randomly because it's like an oil splatter type technique. They use, I think it's Crisco or something, a similar type of oil. They used to use Crisco, I believe, where they splatter the horse with it, spray their paint on, and then wash the oil off, which is kind of cool. So you can see how they differ there, but you can see the spots underneath that are staying the same, and those are put on the horse first. So this is the second release of the 2026 Vintage Club. It is a callback not only to the psychedelic color palette of the 60s and 70s, but Breyer's own history of usually colored models. I have one of those to show you guys today. Even if you don't strike gold with this release, you'll be treated to an equally stunning Wedgwood model. Both are painted in iconic spotted pattern of the 99 Appaloosa Performance Horse. This run is split evenly between the two colors. Vintage fans are sure to love both. So that is, let me see, 99 Appaloosa. Appaloosa Performance. Is it Performance Horse? Yeah. Performance horse. I'm just going to pull up the picture and see if the spots match. Performance horse. That is exactly why. Because it looks exactly like the reference one. Here, let me swap this out. Replace with a screen share. Oh my god. My computer is like, oh, you want to do the thing? Let's do the thing. I hate that they added that option there. Let me go here. So you can see the spot pattern lines up basically exactly. The ones on the neck, the ones on the body, the ones down the leg. To this particular version, I don't know if they would have all been the exact same or not. And then I'm assuming the other side will look something like this. But they would have kept it reasonably similar. So that's kind of cool that they kept the pattern and that it has, yeah, it's still the same there too. So very cool. That'll be fun for our vintage collectors. I like the more fantastical coloration of the new ones versus the older guy. He is a little bit more meant to be realistic, but also very cute. Let's see. Briar, I went to their new page and they don't have anything else new up here. I sorted by new to old. Still the same collegiate swag wear stuff that they had the last time, which is cool. The big fluffy blanket, the pins, the different kind of silk screening technique that they have going on the Georgina pin. Hopefully we see that coming out very soon. It was kind of cool to do a sort by best selling. It's kind of neat to see what sells the most. So it looks like the Chinese New Year horse is the #1. The Pluto model, which I actually got to see in person the other day when I went to pick up my Betsy and Ross at the local toy store. Very, very nice model. I was tempted to bring him home, but I have enough projects right now. And then the Pursuit of Happiness gift set, and Betsy and Ross is coming in at 4th, and then the Cupid plushie, and then our Mountain Ranch gift set, Kiss Me Kate, the chocolate. Thorin was also really cool. There's a really nice blue interference color to the coat. You can kind of see it here a little bit. But yeah, it's very interference, which is really neat. I like when they do that. It is fun. And it's a unicorn, so of course it's even more fun. And then the Ideal Stock Horse Pinto, which is funny because Mark of Charm didn't sell super well, but it looks like the Ideal Series Pinto is. But he's also quite nice in that color. So there's that Apolitical Jess, the Black Bear Sticker Club, Saphira. I don't know why that one's so high up in the rankings. Maybe just because it's a clearwear. Clearwear tends to be fairly popular. So, and the mold's nice. It's also up here as the gray. Damn it, I didn't check their classics to see if they had her. Shoot, I'll have to go back and check. But anyways, they don't really have anything new on the Briar blog. Vogue's Briar Fest blog. Let me make that smaller so you can see it. So last time we saw that Patrick's coming back. They had the swap meet applications open. Guest horse, so Legend and Oliver, those are the police horses that are at the park, and the Norwegian Dole will be there doing a demo. The Rockin' and Rhythm Riders will also be back, and they're just talking about the shuttle service. So if you're interested in seeing live ponies, they are updating what is going to be at the park, which is always fun. So those are fun performance horses. The Doles have been there before. Also very cute. Look at that face. Little Doles. Squeegees. I like how light colored that belly is. Very neat. So yeah, that is what Briar's been up to. There hasn't really been anything else other than that. I don't believe. Let me pull up their Facebook page just in case. I like how it's always stuff. We have Amy. Hi, Amy. Kimberly, welcome. Momo, hi. How's it going? Julie's here. Hello. Where's she at? There you are. Oh, I was disappeared for a minute there. Lizzie, hello. Welcome. Pam, Happy Sunday. Holly, howdy. How's it going? Glenda, hello. I really like the classic Arab Mare in gray. I do too. It's actually a really nice color, and it's nice to have something a little bit more simplistic sometimes. Um, let me. Why is it not? There we go. Breyer Model Horses. Here is their Facebook page. They are. TJ Hurst has a Breyer Appaloosa painting tutorial on the Breyer page. Looks like it is free for everybody, so that's super cool. They must have just posted that. Yeah, 47 minutes ago. Very cool. Congratulations, TJ. That's really fun. They did promote the Pinto, so maybe that's why it's selling really well right now, but it is quite nice. Nothing else too crazy. We talked about the vintage there. He's apparently not glossy, which people are sad about. Um, they talked about some previous models. Shy Boy passed away. That was Monty Roberts' horse that he featured quite often in his works. So that's really sad. They did do a Shy Boy model for Breyer quite a few years back. This is apparently the VIP box that they have for Breyer Fest this year. It'll be giant, one whole box. You just pick up the box itself. How you get that back anywhere if you are not driving, I do not know. But you would be holding a whole bunch of other boxes or bags anyways. So 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. They have a spring sale or had a spring sale on. I don't know when it ended. And then they're featuring their black bear. Show registrations are open after they had some of those issues. And I think their volunteer stuff is all done, which we talked about last week. Amanda and Athena are going to be at Briarfest again. So yeah, nothing really too new. It's just kind of been in the Briar world. Yeah, so that's it, I guess, for Briar. I don't know when their Briar boot camp is. I can't spell boot camp, apparently, but you can hear my clicky clickies. Briar Boot Camp 2026 it's $45 to participate in Briar Boot Camp. What? Okay. So this is the Briar website. They got boot camp up here, $45 for a ticket. You have to put in your username or your normal name and then your whatever your OmHips username is. That's the online model horse photo showers. Let's see. Have to be at least 15 years old, who have never shown in Boo, North American Nationals, or a Breyer sponsored open show. $45 for kids. Looks like it's being run by Liz Isham Corey and Jamie Rott. They do ribbons. It is April 27th, May 1st, May 8th, 13th. What? Oh, hold on. The photo show opens on the 27th of April, so we still have about a month left. If you wanted to participate in that, or your kids did, or a newcomer to the hobby that you'd like to introduce to this sort of thing, you have to enter your photos by May 8th, and then they do all their stewarding, judging, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, that is coming up as well. For some reason, I thought boot camp was more open than that, but it makes sense that it's kind of a novice show, so that's interesting. We have Carol. Hello. Welcome to the stream, Carol. You're MIA for a minute there. What did I do? I ran away. Okay. Can't believe the price for a VIP ticket. Yeah, VIP for Briarfest is $1,000. It does include a whole bunch of stuff. They included one of all the models this year, but not everybody necessarily wants all of the models. They usually have ones that they want more than others. Some are easier to come by than others. So I don't know. Depends on what it's worth it for you. A lot of people, if you sold those models, you would be able to recoup the price of the ticket. So I don't know. I don't know. It's all subjective, right? But it is a lot of money to dish out, especially ahead of time. I'm sure that that helps a lot for Briar's end, for people to prepay for things like that and make sure that they have everything paid for. Because I'm assuming that with all the tariffs and the changes with shipping, and now the fuel prices going crazy, and all the issues that have been around all of the logistics and commerce in the world, that they are probably not having the easiest time. So if you really love Briar and you want to support them, I would suggest that this is a good time to purchase things from them, including tickets to their events and stuff like that, because it's the people and the things you fund that stay alive. Artists like myself included, right? It all works out that way. I know not everybody necessarily thinks about things like that, but it's a good way to spin your brain every once in a while because they are going through probably a really challenging time with everything that's going on with everything right now. I know sales and the hobby in general are quite down, so all of us artists definitely appreciate all the love and support, whether that's stickers or little things here and there, because that's what keeps us alive. And right now, a lot of us are having a very challenging time. So just keep that in mind when you're like, oh my God, those prices are crazy. There's balance to the market as well, but yeah, I think that they and them removing a whole bunch of stuff from Briarfest itself for the events seem to indicate to me, and I don't have insider information, this is just kind of the feeling that I'm getting, is that they are needing an extra little bit of love and support right now. So anyway, there's a delay on YouTube turning on your live stream. Oh, okay, fair enough. There's a delay for me too between what I say and when you guys hear it, so it can be a little bit, yeah. Amy says, I hate to say it, but selfishly, I would love if they went back to the old way they did VIP with some tweaks to it. I kind of agree. I bought VIP the first year that they did it and quite liked it. It was kind of neat to be able to do something like that. And they're definitely changing things around quite a bit. So if you're frustrated with how things are working right now or you want to see changes, I suggest, like anytime I do this, send them an email, or even if you're wanting to do that with artists, you can send Briar an email and say, hey, I love this. I would love to support it, but something like this maybe. You can't have your ideas and your wishes fulfilled if you don't send them to the company or the artists, right? I've had people that have sent me ideas for sculptures and things in the past. I've had people suggest tweaks to the club in the past, and all of those are taken into consideration. And there's been some times where they've been fulfilled. So you can't get the thing if you don't ask for the thing. So email them. Just do it. Same thing goes for sculptors or sculptures or models, breeds, sizes, all that sort of thing. If you want to see that from Briar, send them an email and be like, I would love to see this artist get a chance to work and do something for your line. I would love to see this. And maybe that can come true. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background that might stop that from happening, but you never know. Can't happen if you don't ask for it. Jerry, hello, welcome. Hin, hi. Hin says, I went to work for FedEx and put my studio part-time with sales down so much. Glad I did. Yeah, it's definitely been a struggle the last little bit. And as an artist in the hobby myself, we've noticed that the resin sales have all gone down quite a bit. Clubs have slowed down a little bit. So it's definitely the time to support the people you want to see keep going, because there might be requirements for people in the hobby to start transitioning into part-time work in the normal world if we don't see things pick up a little bit. So I'm very lucky in general. I have a lot of support, but it's definitely been harder for sure. So yeah, there's that. Donna, hello, welcome. Laura, hello. Having lunch with me. Thank you. I wish I had food. I don't have food. What? Anyway, so yeah, support the people that you want to see survive, whether that's a couple stickers here and there, or being in a club of some sort through Briar or an artist or whatever. And yeah, we try and do our best to keep things as available to people as possible with as many options to get in to support us as possible. So yeah, hopefully that keeps going and everything keeps going well because it's hard for everybody right now and totally get it. All right, now we will do from that rant. Do the works in progress and winnies. So I will save some of my progress stuff for the hair by hair rant portion of the program, but I do have some cool things to show you. So if you are in the sticker club, I revealed that your anniversary sticker for everybody up until up until the end of this month. Speaking of clubs and ways to support artists, Tuesday is the last day of the month, so you'd have until Tuesday to sign up to get the Don't Feed the Trolls sticker. So this is the little trolley pony, and it's going to be an embossed holographic. It's going to be magnificent. Let me see if I can find that. So black background. Oops, let me make myself bigger. Here we go. I'm so small. All right, so it's going to be like this, where it'll be holographic and embossed. You can see that there's texture. It'll be produced by Ask Print Shop, and they did my dragon pony sticker. Let me make myself small again. So if you want this sticker, you have to be in the sticker club, and it'll be shipped out as your anniversary happens over the next 12 months, technically. So if you joined the sticker club last month, you wait until your 12 months is completed and it'll be in your last envelope for that cycle. And then there will be a new anniversary sticker that I will also reveal here shortly. Let me make myself bigger again. And I love the trolley pony. I might do a t-shirt and a couple of other things with the trolley pony. So let me know what you want to see him on because he's so cute. So it'll be black background with the holographic embossed. It's going to be magnificent. I can't wait. And I don't have them in hand yet, but I should soon. This is the March Sticker Club sticker. So if I make that, where, nope, there we go. Oh, that kind of works. I'm in a bubble. So yeah, this is the March sticker. So it is the zebra that I worked on, that I posted and did the cool reveal on. And it'll have a holographic background. So all of that rainbow in the back is actually a holographic kind of distressed, I guess would be the best word for it, distressed texture around it. So it'll actually make the zebra pop quite well. I'm very excited, in a matte finish. So that will be fun. I love doing holographic and I like the contrast. I couldn't do something that was just like plain because it's me. I can't do plain. It doesn't work. And I loved doing the zebra. I loved pulling out the different colors in the coat and really getting away from that black and white kind of stereotype that you see. There's a lot more color going on depending on how crazy the sun is, the age of the zebra, where they are, all that sort of thing kind of changes what their coats look like. Like a sunburnt black, you would get different tones, but I loved it. And then if you like this one, so this is, I'll be posting this later. And I kind of went with a bit of a 90s theme just because of the distressed rainbow background. You can kind of see it in there. And it's the zany zebra because I have to use some 90s-ish slang. All right. If you like this guy, then you will probably love the next anniversary sticker. So again, if you sign up this month, you get this sticker, which is the zebra. And then when your 12 months cycles over, you will get the Don't Feed the Trolls free anniversary sticker, and it'll be embossed holographic, which is super cool. The next sticker for anniversaries will start as of next month. So you won't get the zebra if you sign up next month. You could technically add it on if there's extras, but your first sticker will be the April sticker, which is yet unreleased and will be of new theming, which is going to be very exciting. I was hoping to reveal that all this week, but I'm so close. I might peek a little bit of that today. You guys are gonna love it. And so if you like that and you want to join for next year for the anniversary sticker, this is what you're going to end up with. So I've always wanted to do, I have a, oh, let me grab him. He's going to be a little dusty, but Briar asked me to do a series in just about horses for unicorns around the world. And I did an African based unicorn. So you can see the resemblances. There's the kudu style horn. This guy's is magnetic. And I kept with a lot of the coloration of animals from Africa. This guy I have kept trying to put on my sales roster, but I love him so much I might have to keep him. I don't know. He makes me so happy inside. And I love, like, I took the normal mane and exaggerated it. I did this with a Croy as well. That is wanting to go home. But you can see, like, even on his back, he's got the minimal stripes. So you can see some of the resemblances. I ran into, I think at one point on the internet somewhere, that there was a zebra unicorn and a zebra centaur, and it's enchanted my brain ever since. This is a little bit out of the box because I picked colors that are a little bit crazy, kind of Lisa Frankie, and it'll again be a holographic embossed sticker, and that'll add a whole nother layer of cool. So I can't not. He's just so fun. Let me do the thing again. There we go. Wait, I'll do, where was, no. I don't know why it made me round in one of them, but not in the other. That doesn't technically make it any bigger. So I'm just so excited. I added a beard. He's got extra feathering on his legs. He's got a little bit of belly fur, which is kind of fun. And then added more to the tail compared to the other version. And I think it's super cool. So this is going to be the anniversary sticker for all the club members that do the 12 months sequential in the club starting next month. So if your anniversary is this month and you started way back when I started the club in April of last year, then you will get the Don't Feed the Trolls pony. And then right after that, on the next roll around, this is the guy you're going to get. So you'll be the first off the block, which will be kind of cool. So yeah, super, super fun. I'm very excited about all of these stickers, and I'm really loving, like, if you can't, maybe you can see it. I can't make these bigger. I wish I could do the thingy that I do. But I've been really having fun with the 3D nature and playing with the shapes and the colors and the shadows and the highlights to really bring out the forms in the stickers. So the sticker club has come a fairly long way, and it's been improving my art as we go, which is super fun. Let me see if I can show you a quick peek of something. And if, let me just wet your whistle a little bit with some ideas. So you saw the hippocampus sticker sketch that I did, and I asked if you wanted to see it in color because I did the mandarin fish as kind of the base, and I did the a little video reel on Facebook and YouTube, or Facebook and Instagram, to show you guys what it's looking like. And this has been in my brain forever. I'm not going to fully go into what it is, but I will give you a little peek of maybe the flavor of what's coming. And this isn't indicative of the sticker colors. This is just the theme and some of the idea behind it. The stickers will still come in most cases, full color. But let me make this bigger. Is it gonna let me? Okay. So that kind of gives you a little bit of an idea of what's coming. I'm going to do the full reveal of what the theme is going to be, but I think some of you are probably smart enough to figure out a little bit about what this might be about. I'm adding in a little bit of lore and a little bit more history and story and narrative to both the Sticker Club and the Medallion Club starting next month. So Very excited. I think we still have one more thing to go, and then we'll play with things. Kim, good morning. How's it going? Julie says, I'd love to see both zebras as medallions. Yeah, I've been thinking about maybe doing an exotic medallion here and there. So yeah, this is a little bit of a peek of what's coming. I'm going to do a full reveal of what is happening with the sticker and medallion clubs, but there will be now tie-ins between the two in a way that it wasn't before, with a lot of lore and the narrative. Oh, I'm so excited. Kim says, I love when there's a story to go with a piece. Momo, oh my god. So yeah, some of you guys, like, this tickles my brain. I can't talk about more of it because I'll reveal all of the stuff. Technically, I've kind of revealed a little bit of it, but you don't know. Yeah. Okay, I need to shut up. We're shutting up. Okay. Ta-da! Soon more information. That's where I'll leave it. All right, I'm going to take that off of there. I messed that up. Oh, okay, here I am. Haha. So yeah, if you want to join the sticker club, we are transferring over to the new Shopify website with a way better way of interacting and logging in and seeing all the stuff. It's going to be awesome. And then there's workshops that I'm working on that will be exclusive to club members as well. And then maybe some public ones, but that'll probably come later after I demo and play with all my club member people and do fun things. So, and we do the art hangouts a couple times a month. For February, we had 5 of them. This month, we had 3 of them. We hang out, chat about cool stuff. There's usually lots of book recommendations and movie recommendations and interesting techniques and things that we play with different hobby stuff. And it's just a good time. So I would love for you to become a member or hang out, just do cool stuff. So yeah, that's what I'm up to. I don't have the reveal for the sticker club for you yet. I do have a peek for you. You guys saw the little pony that I posted, and I did reveal this in the hangout for other people. But to reach his snacks, this little guy needed to be a little bit more magical. So very, very excited. And there's more coming with this guy's reveal. And I don't think I've seen a piece like it in the hobby. It is definitely different. So if you like something a little more fantastical, a little bit different, and you want to stand out on the show table, or maybe you just want something on your shelf that's extra cool, this guy is gonna fit the bill, I think, for a lot of you. So I'm so excited. And I have other stuff. I did show you a peek on the page of, let's see, there's lots of stuff going on in the studio, like torturing you guys with things. I don't have the image of that one, do I? No, I don't. But I did show a face on Facebook. Ha ha ha. Let's go over there. With some of you guys guessing what this is. So this is the face of something. I had to put the eyeballs on. It's a peak. Had to have eyeballs. This is not the pony. This is something else. This is also not a medallion. This is something else. So there's many things. There's the Icelandic going on in the background. This is not the Icelandic because it's not fluffy and flying. Some of you thought that this one was the Icelandic, but it is not. But look at this. Look at his face. He's got the best little sideways lipped struggle face that I had so much fun with it. He's just like, ooh, I love it. Anyway, so yeah, that's the hype section of things. So I will go from this to, oh, there we go. That's bigger. Back on Facebook. And this is kind of rants, but we'll do the review of the entries before we go into rants. So this is our oopsies winners for Flat Out Fabulous. Let me go back and turn on the volume. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys. So we have Haley won reserve with her moose, and then Sarah Jackson won the championship ribbon with her really cool fiddle and flame medallion. This thing is haired like nose to tail in the fantasy color. It looks so cool. The video, let's see if I can make it fix the quality. It's like, nah, you can't have nice quality. So those both won a $15 credit for the studio for the champion and $10 for reserve. And then for Rising Star, we both had, or both the entries that won were Jill Webb's for the Reaper medallion, and then a Sophos medallion in a and then my choices. Addie Vickers was the open choice for me. I loved how there was this mapping, but herring in the mapping for this particular piece. It was very cool. And then my choice for Rising Star was Jill Webb's beautiful. And then for my prizes, it's $20 each for studio credit for the entries that I picked for choice categories. Our theme is bright beauties, so anything in pale colors, double dilutes, white, gray, pale palomino, buttermilk buckskin, that sort of thing. As long as it's a very pale color, it qualifies. I guess you could technically do like a really pale palomino roan if you wanted to. Anything like that, anything that is on your shelf currently or in your collection, if it falls under these categories, you can enter it as long as it's on one of my sculptures for a medallion. And yeah, you can win cool prizes. All of these people that won all these categories, they all qualify for the grand championships at the end of the year, which means you also can win a full resin of one of the ones that I'm revealing over the next little bit. It'll be very cool. So the grand championships will be in December. Should be really fun. Carol's like, it's a cliffhanger. Jerry, your work just keeps getting better and better. It was always so great. Not sure how you keep upping the level. I have a crazy brain, and my brain cannot leave well enough alone. So I appreciate that. And it's really nice because when I started the Medallion Club, it had an intent to provide a stable income because artist incomes do this, and my budgeting doesn't keep up with that very well. So it helped provide kind of stable income, which it still does today. It's more reliable than a lot of the other sales. And it made my work quite a bit better because I was producing a new piece every 2 months. Same goes for the sticker club. I'm drawing every month to create a new sticker, and now more than every month because I'm doing things in between. And that's how you do better. The more you do, the faster your work develops and grows, and your voice starts to get stronger in your work, and you can really see the artist in the pieces themselves. So it's definitely super fun. I did putter around on Turbo as a kind of studio update, I guess. He's feeling much better. He's still weird about the shoes on his feet. He hasn't had shoes in I don't know how long, but that seems to be helping. They're composite, kind of like a running shoe, glued on the outside so that his sore feet didn't have to have nails go through them. Really like it. They've stayed on pretty well. He lost the one day. We ended up finding it because it's bright blue on the bottom. And yeah, he's been doing great. He's like trotting around and playing with his buddies in the pasture again. So that is very good. I also had Nash out with us while we were riding, and he did amazing. They both did. He even tried to play bow to Turbo, and Turbo was like, looked at me, what do I do? I'm like, I don't want to play with him. I don't play like that. So they'll figure themselves out, and it's really nice to be able to take them out and just putter around and have fun. So these are all things. Where are my albums? Here are my albums. So for the open category, we talked about these guys last time. I'm going to make this bigger. So this theme was Delighted by Details, and it was all about the hair by hair detailing. So all the pieces covered hair by hair detailing, whether it's mapping or Sabino patterns or, oh, why is it doing that? Mapping or Sabino patterns or, there we go, that's better. Grays or like the hair by hair detailing in the manes and the tails. And we just had some amazing entries, and you guys keep sending in cool stuff. I'm so excited. And it's neat to see everybody's different take on how the mapping or the hair by hair detailing works. It's so fun. I love this. Roans counted, obviously, which is really fun too. And you can see some people using pencil techniques, some people using acrylic. This one's more of an artistic. I love how Shelly does these displays for the medallions and creates a painting with them. It's so cool. Then we got Groot and hair by hair detailing, this time in acrylic over the whole body. Works for a varnish Appaloosa. So this is the one that I picked for my host choice. You can see how there's mapping, but there's also hair detailing in that mapping. I quite like that. And the big blue eye. It's very cool. And then we have Fliebe Gray. Looks like this was also done in acrylic. And then a Rabicano. Some really nice detailing in there. So detailing on the hooves. So this was all about hair by hair detailing. This is the one that won champ. So you can see from the nose to the tail, the whole coat in this fantastical blue, purple, has hair detailing over the whole body. And I really like the back little sock there. Very, very cool. Some awesome, awesome entries. And then we have another Sabino on the Frederick medallion, and then another roan, so you can see the corn spotting and all the different herring in there. It can be really hard when you get really fun shapes to get all those details in there. And then it's like your hair charts are all standing, so then you got to manipulate that in your head. It's a whole deal. Love the eye on this guy. And then another Sabino. All right, and then our rising stars. So this is the Sophos, and then this is the Reaper. So you can see all the mapping around there. It was a little bit of a flexible theme. I wanted it to be our first artist's theme, which was more geared towards trying to get people to do hair detailing in different ways and experiment with that a little bit, especially with NaMoPyMo being in February. It gave you the opportunity to paint something as your side piece and participate in this as well. So super fun. Congratulations to all of the people that entered and the winners. You're all awesome. 4 hooves up on zebra medallions. It's so funny. Everybody keeps asking for like the ugly sculptures. I had Jody Jones asked for a Przewalski horse as well. It's like, you guys realize these aren't pretty creatures, which I guess has its own appeal because they're kind of funky looking. I kind of like zebra heads are really cool, but the rest of them, when you take the stripes away, it's kind of horrific. And not to disparage zebras, but they're built not for prettiness, they're built for purpose, and that doesn't always necessarily align with what we think of as nice. And they're gorgeous with their stripes on, and they're so funky with their stripes not on. Like you could even see with the with the anniversary guy. Here, let's make him bigger there. So with the normal zebra sticker here, which is actually, that's kind of fun because it's transparent. You can see how he's kind of like a big potato on legs. And that's kind of how plain zebras look. So it's kind of fun. Looks like Paint Pony Studios also did a zebra for their sticker for this month as well. Let's find a plain zebra for you guys. They're not the prettiest things. So, and especially when the market is so cool, it's hard to do things that are out of the box because we're already kind of struggling to make ends meet as artists right now. So going out of the box with things that may or may not sell because they're not pretty when they're unpainted is very challenging. Yeah, they're just kind of potatoes with legs. Here's a a Google search for you guys. Like, look, tiny little head, giant butt, giant belly, really flat, kind of grunky looking top line, really straight, kind of mule, donkey-like neck, kind of built like a donkey in the back. They're just like, you take those stripes away. I don't know. If you guys want them, then I can make it happen. But it's just, they're not always the prettiest things. That looks like Maggie's little guy that she did that was running. So like head goes down, super flat top line, kind of ewy necked a little bit, also short in the neck, really kind of tiny. It's like a not as cute donkey, maybe. The stripes are what make them cute. But anyways, it's definitely not out of the realm of possibility if you guys want to see them, but they are, you take those stripes away and they're very funky looking. So same kind of thing. And then if we look up the Taki or the Shavolsky, same kind of idea. They're just, they're built here. It's not letting me, there we go. They're just built weird, like weird butt, weird flat back, weird gronky head, gronky neck, tiny donkey butt. When you got a donkey butt, it's like there's another fly. See, it's a flying potato. Flying potato, which is also kind of cool, I guess. But yeah, they're just that you can see the forms a little bit better because they are technically not striped to distort your eyeball, but it's not that different, I guess, from a zebra. But anyway, yeah. Momo wondering if your recent medallion cast needs prepping or are they really clean and almost ready to paint. So depends. All things that you get from an artist that are resin, unless they are specifically claimed as prepped and ready for paint, I try and clean them up as much as possible because I know preppers are hard to get a hold of, but there might be a few things that you still need to do on the medallions to clean them up. There might be pinholes, there might be little things, but I try and send things out as clean as possible. So I don't claim that they are prepped and primed and ready to paint, but they should be really low work. Same goes with most of my resins that I send out. Obviously, the ones from Jen and Tom come really clean. I generally take it a step further when I send them over from here and try and polish them up as best as I can. And because like I said, I know that it's hard to find preppers these days. So definitely check them over, make sure there's not little pinholes or anything that needs to be filled. But for the most part, most of them I've heard from artists back and forth, and in a lot of cases, they are saying that they're just giving them a bath and throwing some primer on there and they're good to go. So yeah, check them over. But for the most part, I mean, I love stripy potatoes. How about a baby zebra? They're not potatoey when they're little. We'll call him Small Fry because he's a little potato and he's still skinny. That'd be actually really cute. Donna says that's weird, but that's what makes them wonderful. Too funny. Duck flying potatoes. Yeah, so if you guys want to see them, I'm not opposed to sculpting exotic things that aren't as pretty in the traditional sense, I guess. Because it's fun. We don't see them very often in the hobby, I guess, so that works. Small fry. Love it. There was a video, I don't know if it was a Disney VHS, but it was when I was a kid, and I remember it like in my brain. It was about fish, and the one fish is like smoking a cigarette or something and going into there was like gangster fish or mobster fish, and the one got called Small Fry, and it was, like, pulled into this, like, criminal world. I don't even know what cartoons were doing back when they first started, but it was wild, and, that just for whatever reason, Small Fry sticks in my brain, and it associates with that, and now it can with you too. I don't even know if I'd be able to find it if I looked it up, but so crazy. Alright, as for we can go into the rant next. Hang tight. All right, so hair by hair detailing. You have your traditional acrylic hair by hair detailing. I have a really good example of that ready. Well, 2, 3. I'm gonna take somebody out by pulling them out of a case. Come here, don't fall. So this is all hand painted. If it'll let you see it. You almost can't see it. They're so tiny. So yeah, you can kind of see in the hip. That's hand painted in acrylic, all in the hair pattern. I still need to go around the spots a little bit. This is the not haired side, and this is the haired side. I wonder if it will show up better. There you go. You can kind of see it a little better that way. So that's all hand painted in acrylic. You can see little micro hairs barely there. It's not meant to be punch you in the face. Some of them are, of course, meant to be more punchy. This is another hair by hair piece, like a snowflake, Appaloosa. Those are all little acrylic hairs. Acrylic can be nice because it's fairly stark in what you're getting for a hair by hair pattern. It's more traditionally used in the hobby. There's some hair by hair in his Sabino markings, and then you can see it in the marking on the face. Come on. In his blaze, all the little hair detailing in there. You can go in with different colors, whether that's browns and grays and different tones of white or pink as you get kind of closer to the muzzle, and really add in all those detailing. You need a really sharp brush to do stuff like that. Another alternative for techniques is doing them in oils. That just gives you more time to play with doing all the herring in there. Oils are less traditionally used for white markings in the hobby and for hair by hair detailing. Lots of people are starting to do roans. I actually have two Lynn castles called Roan here. As I try not to take out buddies. So this is, he's a little dusty, but this is hair by hair roan detailing done in oils. So you can see you kind of get a very similar effect. The oils can be a little softer just because of the nature of the oils wanting to blend a little bit better. But you can make them hard and stark looking. Acrylic is better if you want hard, stark, because it just wants to go there anyway. You can see how soft that looks. This is the same artist that did the Tiger Lily and Firestorm foals for Briar. She painted them up, and this was the piece I was like, come on, we need to have her do the pretties because they're so pretty. And then you can get into, do I have the Nayla on here? I think I do. That is not the picture I'm looking for. Hang tight. Okay. There was a medallion that I did on the Nayla Ahaltica, however you pronounce it, in a pencil hair by hair. So you can see how pencils are a little softer, but they also have more grain to them. So for doing hair by hair work, as I've got like goobies on her, you can do different layers, put pastels over top of these, but when you get right into there, you can kind of see the grain, which works really well for a gray, and pastels can soften that. So that's another way that you can do, this light is like too intense. Oh, as I break it, breaking the light. Here. No, that's not enough light. The hair by hairing it with the pencils has a different feel. So it really depends on what you're going for the look of the piece, how much patience you have. Morgan Kilburn used to do some really nice flea bitten grays, hair by hair. Let's see if I can find them online here for you guys. And that was also in pencil. Maddie actually has a really nicely done one. Oh, if you look that up, there's resins painted by Morgan. That would be what we're looking for. Let's see if we can find Maddie's pony. Aha, we can. So this is this is a flea bitten gray that is done in pencils as well. So you can see all the little tiny flea bites all blended in over a nice creamy base. And this was done as a portrait of a mare at the barn that Maddie rode when we were riding together, actually. I rode a horse called Milo, and she rode Hillary. And this is her. It's actually a really close fit. So you can get some really cool effects with the pencil roning. Let's see if I can find the other thing I was looking for. So it depends on what you're playing with for technique as to what one you want to choose. You want a medium that you're comfortable with. I like to switch back and forth, as you can see, depending on what color it is and how I'm feeling that day pretty well. Liz Shaw did some really amazing, let's see if I can make that bigger. Some really amazing acrylic hair by hair work. She sold one of her pieces, I think, for $22,000. This particular horse, it was a Veronka resin by Carol Williams. Let me make this bigger for you guys. So you can see and hear all of the little individual details, and this isn't doing it the best justice. The quality of these photos isn't great, but you can see all of the little hairs showing up here. I think that she painted a lot of this with cat whiskers, if I'm not mistaken, like literally cat whiskers. So to get the pieces, like the little hairs to scale and so small, basically it's ridiculous. You can see how soft the herring is and the muzzle here as it transitions, and those hairs get really soft and velvety and short. Just an incredible piece. You can see why it went for so much money, but it was the highest selling thing the hobby had ever seen, other than the Breyer auctions, and those didn't technically even come to later. That Albarozo came after this, so this was the highest selling thing I think in the hobby up to that date. But she was incredible. You can see her hoof details here, and then all of the little details under the belly. So she managed to get this really soft. That would have been transparent layering of hairs. You can play with the techniques and the mediums that you add in to make acrylics be less stark, and more transparent and translucent so that you can see what's going on. This is the full piece. So all that roning in there, all those little spots. She went on to do a whole bunch of other pieces, kind of before and a little bit after. I think this piece broke her a little bit because it's hard to live up to something that sells for that much that you basically have to hand deliver because it's so valuable. And then it can fry you as an artist. So unfortunately, that was kind of the case with Liz. But she left us with some pretty incredible work. Like just the roning transitions in that white is stunning. So yeah, Jerry's saying you can dab the lines with Q-tips and soften the grain up on pencils. Yeah, I use the little micro brushes. I'll use the makeup brushes as well to kind of soften things in pencils. And again, if you go over top of it with pastels, then it knocks things back and you can kind of play with the layers a little bit. So lots of options. I'll still probably go in with pastels on top of this guy and play with some of those ideas, maybe going with pencils in certain areas. So I'm a serial medium player, I guess. But yeah, it's amazing to see what can be done. Let's see if I can find. I think that's what pops up when you look up the shot model horse. This was one of her earlier pieces, so you can see how the herring was a little bit bigger. This was another gorgeous one. Getting a little bit more in scale. And that's one of the hard things too. We like seeing the big hairs, but a lot of the time they are smaller. And the subtle is kind of really nice. It's kind of fun. So is the more drastic. It's pretty cool to see what people can do. And then technically you could take pigments, lay them down, and then make little marks into the pastels with like a little thin eraser or one of the really tiny micro brushes and pull the herring out of that, or leave it a little bit more abstract and do that in certain places so you give the effect of hair without having to do absolutely hair by hair. There was also, and I can't remember the artist. See if I can close that out. It was on a bay horse, and it was all hair by hair done in the bay color. There's been a few since. Let's see if I can remember. This guy was this was the Appaloosa in progress. So you can kind of see a little better there as I'm adding in the hairs here. And then where I haven't added them over the more fleshy color. So that's another option. Where is the bay pony? If I can find it by looking it up like that. There's lots and lots of really cool examples of hair by hair detailing in the hobby. Like that's not a real horse, that is a model horse. That one is by CS Richmond Studios, for anybody that's curious. So yeah, there's lots of ways to do it. You can definitely play with the ideas. People are starting to do, like with the blue horse from the Flat Out Fabulous contest, there's people that are doing hair by hair in the solid colors, and that looks really cool too, because we're so used to seeing the hair color, and a lot of horses are done solid. That doesn't mean that hair by hair is the only way to do things. It's just another technique that you can play with and another look that you can get. Sometimes it's nice to have things that are a little bit more artistic, less literal translation. Here's Lynn doing another piece hair by hair in oils. This is a Rabicano, so you can see how everything blends out, and then you get the luminosity of the oils. It's a little bit more tricky to keep your hair in oils when you're doing that sort of technique, but yeah, it's kind of fun. What else do we got? I wish I could find that bay. Darn it. It's not going to happen today, I don't think. Oh well. I didn't have a very good way to look it up either, so there's that. A lot of people do use it for grays just because you can get kind of the idea of a gray, and that graininess of the pencils adds to it really nicely. But yeah, no luck finding it on here. That's okay. That'll be for another day. Next time I see it pop up, I'll definitely save it. I have it saved somewhere. So that is my rant for today of all the different techniques that you can do. There's also a couple of solvents that you could use to technically go in and take your pencils and soften them up. If you're using pencils, I really like the Caran d'Ache Luminance. Oh, where does it say Luminance on it? Oh, these are different. This is a Pablo. Carandash. I have luminance somewhere. Prismacolors aren't too bad. They're a little waxy, so you might be fighting your wax as you're going along. So just be mindful of that. You want the premieres, you don't want the cheap ones. I really like Polychromos, but Polychromos struggles a little bit. They're Faber-Castell. Yeah, it's like gold. No, not having any of it. These are the Polychromos by Faber-Castell. They're an oil base. They're a little bit more temperamental about layering and putting color on, so just be mindful of that. That's another. Here's a luminance. So this is again Carandash. These ones I found to work the best. I don't know what the base necessarily is. I think it's another like waxy oil base, but these seem to layer a lot better, especially for whites. You can use these to go in around the edge of a marking. You can do all sorts of things. So those are some options if you wanted to play with stuff like that. You can also get pencils that have eraser tips in them, keep that really sharp, and then you could go in, or even with a kneaded eraser, and put lines into, or the little color shapers, but the ones that are pointy, not the ones that are, I guess the round ones could work too. These guys, you go into pigments and pull out the little hairs if you wanted to and kind of draw the hairs into the pastels. Clean this off every once in a while when it's a clean one, not one covered in epoxy, and it'll pull little hairs out. There's lots and lots of ways to do it, and then layering the different mediums and playing with that. So Nikki says she's amazing, such an incredible painter. Yeah, I wish she would paint more, but life happens and sometimes it just doesn't work out. Laura Rocksmith, that horse is still amazing. And they're even more amazing in person because there's just so much going on in the horse. And I like the subtlety of it because it's enough to catch your eye, but not overload your eye unless you really want to be overloaded and then you get like this close to it. Then your brain just goes. But it's all subjective. It's all whatever people's preferences are. So there's not a right way or a wrong way. There's just different ways and different preferences. On that topic, what are we doing now? Oh my goodness, we're over an hour. I'm sorry, people. We have a hyperfixation. Do we have a hyperfixation for this week? Oh. I've been so busy getting things ready for the clubs and playing with my iPad that I don't think I have a proper hyperfixation for this week. My brain's trying to get in the mode of let's do gardening stuff, but I haven't got there yet. So maybe we don't have a hyperfixation for this week. I am going to, what am I doing this week? I'm trying to think. This week's all crazy. This is the last week that my husband has before he goes into a big turnaround over the next 2 months. So I basically won't see him for 2 months. So we've been trying to spend some time together and trying to get things done around the house. And my goodness, it has been a lot. I think pretty well just playing with the shading on the 2D drawings and making those kind of pop like with the zebras. I was having a lot of fun with that. And a lot of my time and effort has been hyperfixated on the theme for the new Sticker Club, Medallion Club integrated themes coming up for this next year, which I can't tell you yet. So I could spill all the hyperfixation beans, but let me just leave you with one more tidbit before I leave you for the day that will give you maybe some insights as to where we might be going with this. If you haven't already, I suggest you look up and read the natural history of dragons because it is wonderful and there might be some insights as to where we might be adventuring for this particular theme set because technically they're interwoven themes, but they overlap. And also, if you haven't checked it out, I have been listening to a little bit of Lit RPG, which is like role-playing games, but in a book format, mostly by audiobook. For whatever reason, my brain can't read properly post-chemo. So almost all my books are intaked via audiobook. I don't know what chemo did to my brain, but I used to read voraciously books, physical books, ebooks. Now my brain doesn't do it anymore. Um, so yeah, that's a weird thing. I love He Who Fights with Monsters. I love the main character, which is a little controversial. Not everybody likes him. But I also tried Dungeon Crawler Carl. It's a little too twisted for my personal preference, but a lot of people really like it. So I would highly suggest that you check out those as options. There was also another series by Stephen Killaher. Um, now I can't remember what the name is. Darn. And they were really good. Oh, come on. If I put in lit RPG, does it come up? It's coming up with some kids author, which is not the right option. No. Shoot. Okay, well, I can't remember what it was called. I'll have to remember that for next time. But lit RPG as kind of a book genre is kind of cool. Can be a little bit hard to process just with the stats and stuff that they read out, but I found them really fun. And if you are struggling with He Who Fights with Monsters, I looked up some of the potential I like what would be conspiracies around, not conspiracies technically, would be what's the word for it? Oh, see, my brain's like, we're done, end the stream. But the fan theories behind why the character is so godlike powered, there's a lot of value there, I find, for enjoying the series, because for me it adds another layer. If you look up what those fan theories are about why the main character is the way he is, it adds an extra layer of awesome that I think, for me, makes it even more awesome. And there's a lot of really cool psychology things in there that I just enjoy processing. So yeah, it's a good thing to check out. And again, Natural History of Dragons might give you some insight as to the theme for the Medallion Sticker Club tie-ins we're doing. All right. On that note, I love you guys. Remember, don't feed the trolls. Because look at that. That thing does not need food. It does not need to grow bigger and stronger and crazier. So just don't feed it snacks. Maybe don't put it anywhere near water after midnight, and we should all survive. All right. On that note, love you guys. I'll see you next time. Have a great week. I will be releasing things this week for delicious, delightful reveals, and then we'll go from there. Love you. Bye.